Hey everyone, this is Danny Blank. This is my research proposal presentation. I'd like to direct your attention to our title here, Can Involvement in Extracurricular Activities or Athletics Increase the Rate of Second Language Acquisition? The reason I chose this topic for my lit review is that I work with newcomers on a daily basis and I also coach athletics. I personally believe that all newcomer students should participate in an extracurricular activity or sport in order to increase their uh, language development as they are learning English. Before I push this on my students, however, I kind of wanted to be sure that relevant research backs up what I personally believe. Unfortunately, when I went into research this particular topic, I found a big hole. And so what I did was take the relevant research that I did find and kind of approach this question in several different ways in order to call for more research in this area. The first area was what are the best methods for second language acquisition? The second was what are the negative impacts or things that are hampering our students from learning? And then the third was does participation in athletics or extracurricular activities improve student performance in the classroom? Um, in regards to the research question and hypothesis, I mean, you can see the research question in the title here. Do high school immigrant students that participate in extracurricular activities or athletics learn English at a faster rate than students that do not participate in extracurricular activities? My independent variable is participation of students in extracurricular activities and athletics. Dependent variable is the rate of improvement on an English proficiency exam. In this case, Oklahoma uses the WIDA test. Hypothesis covered. Null hypothesis is students that participate in athletics or extracurricular activities will not learn English at a faster rate than those that do not participate. As far as research design, I originally wanted to do a simple cut and dry, examine the WIDA screener that they take at the beginning of the year, and then examine the final WIDA test that they take at the end of the year, check the box if they completed the extracurricular activity or athletic sport, and then examine the rate between those. And talking to some different people, I found that that wasn't going to be as simple and as cut and dry as I originally thought. And throughout the process, I realized that I'm not big on numbers and data. I really personally enjoy the human aspect of it, the stories, the feelings, the ideas, and the human side of our students. And so that led me towards a more qualitative research design. I also realized throughout the process that a qualitative design would most likely be more beneficial because the question that the research is asking is really nuanced and intricate. There's a lot of different factors that go into a student's rate of second language acquisition. And I felt that an interview system where I can discuss and talk to the students would be a little bit easier to dig into why a student is acquiring their English or how a student is acquiring their English throughout the year. I really based my research design on with my classroom in mind. I designed the sample group with a cohorted newcomer program that all the high schools in OKCPS have. I would I want to use that small group setting, about 15 students, because they receive the same instruction in English language from the same teachers, and they are together for most of the day, which means that they aren't receiving different types of English education. They're all receiving basically the same English education instruction. But it's the outside factors that I really want to examine. And the outside factors being, are they participating in extracurricular activities or sports? And if they aren't, what are they doing outside of the classroom to help them acquire English faster? The population that this group is it's anywhere from 14 to 18, and both boys and girls would be included. As far as demographics, they are majority Central American, Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador. However, there could be students from other countries like Vietnam or Myanmar in there as well. Uh, they the interview or the qualitative process would be a series of interviews, three, one at the beginning of the year, one in the middle of the year, and one at the end of the year. The first interview would be kind of getting to know the students, describing what their life was like in their home country, describing immigration experience, feelings about starting school in America, feelings about learning English. I would like to talk to them about what their level of self-confidence is, what their level of stress is, their leadership qualities, their personal feelings about the culture in America, just to kind of set a baseline of where they started and then examine that through the second and third interview and how it changes or what they are doing to increase their rate of second language acquisition. Our threats to internal validity throughout this year would mainly come from the students themselves. Every student is different. We all know this. A student that is more outgoing is going to put themselves out there more and usually learn at a faster rate than a student who has a more reserved personality. Some students read more. Some students are willing to watch TV in English, listen to music in English, and use all these outside factors to improve their rate of second language acquisition. And that's kind of what I want to get to the bottom of with the qualitative study, is kind of find out, peel back the layers that I don't get to peel back in the classroom, and see what is positively helping our students and what is negatively helping or hurting our students. And so, yeah, the threats to internal validity of this study are numerous, and I understand that, and it's just an incredibly difficult topic to remove all of those threats because you're looking at it through such a wide lens and trying to look at so many different factors. And so for data analysis, I still want to use the WIDA scores because they are the best determinant of English proficiency. So I would want to use the WIDA screener score that they take when they enter. For most newcomer students, they usually score at around a 0. And so tracking that throughout the year and for their final WIDA test, using those results is a great indication of how far they've come. But I also want to incorporate those personal aspects for each student to, yes, examine mainly did the students that participated in extracurricular activities or athletics, was their rate of acquisition better than those that didn't? But I also want to examine things like self-confidence levels. Do students that have higher self-confidence, is their rate of second language acquisition better? Did students who felt more stressed, was their rate of second language acquisition different than others? And so using there's just so much that you could analyze through this process, and that's what I'm really excited about seeing if I ever get to do something like this. And so I believe I'm hitting the 10-minute mark here, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys for paying attention and listening, and I hope you got something out of this, and have a wonderful Christmas.